Hey guys, it's Jason here. Thought I'd give you a little chicken update. It's been I guess been a year now that I've been had the chicken bunker going. I've had several things go on. It's been quite the learning experience, but right off the bat, my girls went through a terrible spell of pecking on each other, and then went through a awful molt. I had a bunch of bear girls. That poor little black one over there, Dottie, she was about bald, and so was this one here. We call her Little Bit. She lays the best tasting little green eggs ever. But come to find out, looks like what the biggest problem was the way I had my chicken coop set up. I don't know what's wrong with her. She's got a little bit of a dirty fanny over there. Anyway, Henrietta's scratching around, taking her a dirt bath. And Seagull over there. Notice in the pan they had them some spaghetti earlier today. They love meat sauce. They are carnivores. But come to find out, looks like my biggest problem was the way I had my coop set up. Now, when I first started out, I had 10 hens and 10 nesting boxes. I don't know what I thought. I guess I believed in the little cartoons and felt like they'd all come in and hop down, sit down in their little nesting box and knit while they laid their eggs. Came just short of putting their names on each of the nesting boxes. But I've since found out that it don't matter how many hens you have, they're all going to try to lay in the same box. Now, I wouldn't change the way I set my thing. If you notice, I've got doors here that open along the sides, and this door here where I've still got the 2 nesting boxes that I use. I never find an egg in the top one. They're all in that bottom nesting box right there all the time. But I wouldn't change the way that I set this up, because opening them doors up, that far one's open, you can clean this thing out really easy. Now what I've done is, instead of all the nesting boxes and just a couple of roosts in the back corner like I had it originally, set up this little bleacher style setup, and that seems to have helped the pecking the most of all. Since I put that up, they've all grown their feathers back in. Now, I did add a feather fixer block to their yard, but I don't think that had nothing to do with it. They have pretty much all but quit pecking on each other. I also added this roost right here all the way across, so it gives them plenty of room to spread out. Like I said, I've got 10 hens. I've kept this kind of small. Best I can tell, I've got just about the minimum amount of square footage for 10 birds, and like I said, to begin with, it was a little rough with like I said, my lack of knowledge and all that good stuff. But I got to say that now that I've set this up with this little bleacher set up here, 6 girls or 7 will get over here, and the other 3 or 4 will get over here, and they're not pecking on each other near as bad. Of course, they are chickens. They are going to reach over and jerk a feather out every once in a while if somebody gets too close. But this seems to have really helped the little pecking of their backs. I mean, as you can see over there, they've filled in real nice. And like I said, I hadn't really changed much about their diet. I did add a feather fixer block. Those Purina blocks, and boy, I tell you what, they started out so scared of that thing. It's you can see it over there. I've got it in a salt block container for a cattle salt block. But they started out, when I first put that thing in there, they ran from that thing. They'd be under the coop here, and they'd go along and they'd get right up next to that block, and they'd just run past it like they was afraid it was going to get them. But anyway, yeah, like I said, wouldn't change this a bit. Like I said, the original intent for these doors here was to reach into the nesting boxes and get eggs out. 2 nesting boxes is all you need for 10 birds, because they're all going to try to lay in the same box anyhow. It's just the way they do it. But like I say, as opposed to calling these this an egg hatch, this is a clean out hatch. So it does make things a lot easier dealing with this small setup here. You know, it's just 4 feet tall, got a slight amount of pitch to the roof, and all. But that's my chicken update. Got my thermometer in here. It's supposed to turn off cold tonight, so we'll see. I've got a heat lamp in there. I don't think I'm going to need it. I don't really want to get them used to a heat lamp. We've never used it except for when they were little, and of course the heat pump's gonna cut on. But anyway, I guess that was about everything I had to cover. Like I say, this little setup right here change everything as far as if they're pecking on each other, pulling the feathers out of each other's backs. You got a bunch of bald chickens. Look at your roost setup. This right here fixed my problem. I'm confident this was what cured it. So y'all take it easy. Jason out. Can y'all hear that pack of coyotes?